A video game gives you a camera. A movie gives you a soundtrack and a lighting engine. But a tabletop role-playing game gives you none of those things. The raw materials of this medium are strictly math and paper. Before imagination takes over, these elements are incredibly dense. They don't move. They sit rigidly on a table, asking a lot of the players who open them. That places immense pressure on the artwork. Long before a single die is rolled, the illustrations, covers, and typography have to convince you that a fictional place is actually real. A game's world cannot be built by rules alone. It requires a cohesive visual system to exist in your mind. Aurelio Acevedo specialized in building these necessary visual systems. Think of it as a visual spine. It is the underlying framework that aligns the typography, the covers, the maps, and the character pieces, so they all pull in the exact same direction. We are going to deconstruct how one man built this invisible architecture for an entire industry. It is tempting to think of art direction as a job solely about aesthetic taste and picking out pretty pictures. But Aaron spent 9 years in the United States Navy managing logistics around the USS John F. Kennedy. That kind of high-pressure environment teaches you how to keep massive, complex operations moving forward. Art direction demands that exact same logistical muscle. You are constantly herding freelancers, adapting to changing publisher expectations, and trying to salvage deadlines that are rapidly slipping away. To handle that chaos, Aaron founded Sigil Entertainment, a production house designed to mechanize the unpredictable process of making art. A gorgeous illustration is completely useless if the production files break at the printer. Logistics is the foundation that allows the art to exist in the first place. Then there is the problem of visual grammar. This is the challenge of shifting tone across drastically different game settings without confusing the people playing them. A Weird West setting like Deadlands requires a grimy, dust-choked aesthetic. But if you move to a game like Super's 5e, you suddenly need the massive scale and bright colors of a neon superhero skyline. Translating those loud, distinct visual identities is difficult enough. Doing it while ensuring the underlying rule system remains instantly recognizable to the buyer is a massive design challenge. Aaron figured out how to change the visual rules of a setting without flattening the distinct identity of the world itself. When the tabletop industry began moving away from physical dining room tables, it shifted rapidly to digital screens and remote play. This meant artwork had to survive inside virtual tabletops, software environments that simulate a game space online. Maps had to function as digital interfaces with interread modules rather than static print illustrations. Aaron adapted his production house to this new reality, building out teams to create tokens and digital conversions specifically for these platforms. By future-proofing that visual architecture, he ensured tabletop role-playing survived the leap into the digital era. His talent for building strong support structures extended far beyond his professional life. It was a core human trait. Years ago, while on Navy leave in France, Aaron was supposed to meet his wife, Janine, at a train station in Marseille. Her train was delayed. In an era long before cell phones, Aaron simply stayed at the station. He waited until nightfall, until the very last train arrived with Janine on it. Decades later, when Janine was diagnosed with glioblastoma, he completely committed to that same level of care, selling his business so he could stay by her side full-time. His life's pattern was consistent. Whether he was managing art files or caring for his family, he built unbreakable support systems around the people who needed him. After Janine passed away, Aaron faced a catastrophic cascade of his own medical emergencies, enduring kidney failure, heart issues, and severe vision loss. He was eventually hospitalized at Mount Sinai in New York, awaiting a double transplant. The response was immediate. Major publishers and independent creators organized bundle efforts to fund his recovery, pulling together resources from across the tabletop space. The tabletop industry is small, meaning production credits are actual, lived relationships. The community he had propped up for decades stepped in to carry him. Aaron focused his career on the foundational visual layer of the industry, rather than rule design. He built the architecture that made the game mechanics legible. When a visual spine works flawlessly, the audience looks past the layout and art direction and simply believes the world. Before he died, he even drew his wife into one of those settings, immortalizing her in a game world he had spent his life shaping. He left behind a legacy of visibility. It proves the people who make these worlds real aren't always the ones writing the rules. Sometimes they are the architects who allow us to see them.